Alright. And I'm live for I Love Sketchup, issue 93. It's OC week. OC, OC, OC. As you can see, I've already started doing a sketch because I realized all my weeks that when I do these drawings, a lot of the time I go over my hour by like a half an hour or more. So this time I thought maybe I could like pre-sketch something out and maybe it would help. Although I don't know what kind of OC we're going to get, so maybe I'll save this sketch for another time. Zeno says, hi. Hello, Zeno. I feel like you're real early today. Alright, well, while waiting for the lobby to fill up over the course of the next few minutes, I am going to keep working on my sketch. Maybe I'll polish it up a little bit. I don't know what kind of eyes or face I'm going to get, so let's lower this down and make a cleaner version that I can work on top of. I don't like that. Again, if you'd like to see me draw your OC like usual, just send me a link to what your OC looks like. You can always send me the link on my DeviantArt page, Patreon, or Facebook. Just send it as a message. Like the link, or if you have like an actual photo, you can send me an actual photo too. That's gonna kind of come out like that. Let's have this hand out. I don't know if it's gonna be big claws or whatnot. Hey, what's going on, Thurzan? Thurzan. It's OC week. Do you have any OCs that you'd like me to draw? For those of you unaware, OCs are original characters. What I'm gonna do today is take a bunch of original characters and mash them all up to make a fresh new original character with everything. And right now I'm just working on my pose illustration because I want this to last an hour, and it's easier for me to be creative when I'm in the comfort of my own home. Like when I'm on the spot, I can still be creative, but not as much. Like I'll have a bit of trouble. So like, for example, like this pose that I just sketched out took me like maybe a minute and a half, like no, a little longer. Let's say like 3 or 4 minutes. So it took me 3 or 4 minutes to come up with a quick sketch that would work for all sorts of things. And that's kind of why I like to do it off camera. I think I might keep doing that. And if somebody ends up going, hey, let's draw us a guy, then we'll either do it in advance or I'll just do another sketch, whatever. I can still do it. I can still do that. It's just that this drawing will be a little more detailed. I'm fine with gender bends. Anyway, I'm also part of a collab. It's basically the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Mural with OCs. That's funny. Well done, Zeno. Robert says, idea sent as a DeviantArt note. Alright, I'm going to go check that out right now. Alright, so to give you all an idea of what it's like to send me your images, Robert has sent me a DeviantArt note or message or however you'd like to call it. and then I go fetch it, and this is one of his original characters. Either it was drawn by him, or he had commissioned somebody to do it, or someone had just done it kind of like I'm doing right now with my illustration. Like, not everybody always mashes things up, and that's, you know, like, everybody has their thing, right? I do mashups because I think it's fun. It makes it so that almost all the drawings are super original. But I gotta admit that it is kind of sad when I don't draw stuff that's like, that exists. You know, like, it's fun doing pinups and stuff. It's easy. You don't have to get the brain working as much. You just go with the flow and draw like a beloved character. And especially fun when you love that character, you're passionate about them. You can access my link on the YT chat, right? No. Actually, like, I don't think so. Like, I don't see any links here. So I think that the YouTube chat isn't really good for links and stuff like that. I would love it to work on here. That'd be the most efficient. But unfortunately, I don't think it does. I don't see any link. Zeno, like, if you can try, man. Like, if you've got one, like, click it. Like, try sending it, and if I don't see it, then I'll just tell you. Check DA for notes. Alright, I'm on my way. And Therazin, do you happen to have any original characters that you would like me to illustrate for you? I have none at all. Aw. Well, that's okay. You don't need to have one. Everyone doesn't need to have their own original characters in life. Get rid of this. Just make this a little tighter so I can then make it a bit bigger. Yeah, that seems about right. Alright then, Therazin. Hook me up with an idea. Should I roboticize this character? Maybe I could make her look all robot-y? Yeah, I don't care about that. Let's just bring this in a little like this. Bring that down. There we go. Looks a little off, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna end up giving her clothes and such, so those shapes are gonna change just a little bit. Alright, and then I'll give you this option. Should I make her thicker or should I make her thinner? Right now, she's pretty much mid-range. I mean, I did give her a pretty big rack, actually. But I could always make her have, like, I could always make her flatter. That's easy to change. Or I could give her thinner legs, thicker legs. What would you like? This way you'll, I don't know, contribute a little bit to it. You might not have an original character, but at least you'll have a say with how you want her to turn out. Thinner today. You got it. Let's bring that leg in then. I don't need this to be this big. I contributed. Yeah, you did. Woohoo. Alright, actually I'm going to use my pen to draw this now. Alright, so if we're going to make her thinner, let's... I already started making her pretty curvy, but it's okay. Let me bring this in a little. I'm going to bring that in just a bit like that. Let's bring all of this in and up a bit so I can go in like this. And have her butt really coming out there. I don't want that coming out so much. Maybe I'll bring this up a little like that. There we go. I feel like I should have drawn her whole leg before doing that. Whatever. There we go. Get her little leg in. So, how's everybody doing? How's your fun week? Anybody here see the Sonic movie? I haven't seen it yet, but I know there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions on it. What about Birds of Prey? Has anyone seen Birds of Prey? Now I'm just like throwing everything. I wish. What? You don't wish for that. Wish for like sweet superpowers or something. Damn, man. Wishing to go see Sonic. Sonic is the one character I'm not a fan of. Well, is it because you don't like Sonic or because you have trouble with the Sonic community? Ooh, shots fired, Sonic community. Actually, I have a lot of friends that are huge Sonic fans, and I like Sonic. I can't say no to a super sweet Sonic. I grew up on Sonic 2 for the Sega, and I love that game so much. It's always going to be one of my favorite games. Like, well, it's up there, right? It's definitely up there. Wait a minute, does this girl have dragon legs? Yes, she does! I was going to draw, like, regular feet. Look at me. Regular feet like a sucker. I've seen Birds of Prey on opening. A lot of opinions, a lot of spoilers likely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, but Sonic fans are really hardcore like that. Like, they're a very hard community to make happy. Because it's so diverse. Like, Sonic's changed so much over the years. So, you have, like, those hardcore old-school Sonic fans that love, like, Sonic purists that love the way Sonic used to be. Then you have those Sonic fans that like Sonic the way he was in the 2000s and up. And then you've got, like, the TV show fans. I mean, and even the TV show fans is kind of all over the place, you know? Like, because you've got people that love the original Sonic the Hedgehog TV show. Then you have people that like Sonic 2. I mean, Sonic 2, the TV show, was, like, kooky and funny and full of jokes. That's something you don't, like, that's so different than the super moody series that ended up being, alright, I've got to bring this up actually as well. Let's finish her leg around here, and then I'll bring everything up, and I'll make her all around smaller. But yeah, so Sonic 2 is such a joke show, and that's where he starts loving chili dogs and everything like that. And that's the sort of thing that, like, you didn't get that in the Sonic series before that. Then you had Sonic Underground, all about music. So it's like you had all these people growing up with different Sonics, and, like, not just little differences, huge differences. Like, massive differences. Like, the main stuff kind of stays the same, but overall, it's like the characters gone through complete overhauls on multiple occasions. I just grew up on Super Nintendo and don't know Sonic very well until very late. That makes sense. I feel like that's the consensus with a lot of people that don't know Sonic. Is back then, you had to choose Super NES or Sega. Not everybody could have both. I had both, but they were like used, bought from flea markets, so they were in awful shape. But because of that, I had the option to play both, which was kind of cool. Like growing up, like I ended up getting a lot of stuff at the flea market. I used to live like right next to one, like a really big one back in Nova Scotia, which like Dartmouth, Halifax, which is in Canada. Okay, I don't want to give her that. I'm going to bring this up a little more. Let's instead give her something like this. So yeah, living the flea market lifestyle really allowed me to get a lot of consoles or video games that I never would have gotten if it involved getting them new. Like my Game Boy was used, all my games were used for it. Like I never had new stuff growing up, so that's why like I did, but it was really rare. And it's also why like a lot of the times like nowadays I'm always buying new things. I buy used stuff every now and then. It depends on what it is. It's just anyway. Now let's just leave this like this for now. I'm not gonna put those lines in there. We'll just like slowly build up on that. Alright, let's go close this up. I remember Sonic and Brawl, then the rest of it was the Adventures box set. Loved it, but got me in trouble due to bad habits. Sonic Adventures. Then there's the animated Sonic movie that has Metal Sonic in it and everything, and that movie was freaking awesome. It was such an awesome movie. Oh my gosh, I love that animated movie. It was kind of weird because there was like a cat girl in it, and the universe that Sonic is from is like all weird, all wrong. But it was still like, I still loved it. Alright, because I made her so much thinner, a lot of my illustration became a lot smaller. I guess I could have kept making her like just taller all around, but I didn't. I'm gonna give her smaller breasts. Let's hide that, just see what this is looking like so far. Yeah, it looks good. Ooh, actually, I want to lower these down from her rib cage. Usually, I would bring that under the breasts, but because her breasts are going to be much smaller than I had originally anticipated. According to the creators, the original pilot was, in their opinion, the true Sonic show. Of course, every creator would say that. I don't believe it, though. Bring that in. Bring this in like this. Let's just erase that for now. I'll get back to it. Well, I say every creator would say that. That's not true. It's just that, I don't know, whenever people make stuff, a lot of times like they have like these things that they would have changed or things that they would have loved to have in there, and then at the same, like, no, it's usually like that. And then sometimes too, you'll have like, I'm trying to think of like my own experiences creating things my whole life. Because the thing is that I'm not unique in the way I think of things. You know, like most people aren't, and a lot of people think the same. You know, it's just the way it is. But I mean, especially with like when you're coming up with like an idea, it's so easy to like the first iteration being like, yeah, that's what we originally wanted, and a lot of times I don't believe it because I'm like, yep, for sure, right when you made that, that is what you wanted. But then as time goes on and you get older or better at writing or better at designing or become more creative because you've experienced more things in your life that allow you to see things from a different angle. Like you're gonna want to change certain things. Like even with my comic book, there's things that I've done like that I'd done like years ago where I'm like, oh man, if I could have gone back and changed just a few things a little bit. And it's just how it is. But then you kind of roll with it, or you find ways to incorporate what you wanted to change in your main story as your story like goes on. That's kind of what I do. Like I wrote a lot of my comic. All like most of it's all like it's all finished anyway. Like I already know how it's gonna end my comic book, and I already know everything's gonna happen in it, and I've written everything down. And so it's like I know where it's going, but sometimes like for like characters and like concepts and things that are going to happen in the future, every now and then I might tweak it because like I said, you know, you get better at writing and doing stuff. All right, what are we doing seeing here? This guy's got like a little fireball in his hand. That's cute. Oh, wait a minute. I need the names of your characters, please. Oh, maybe I already had them. Hold on. No, Zeno, yours says Zeno's stash. Oh, it's Zeno. It's Zeno, the man himself. All right. So we've got Zeno and we have Scarlet. All good. I found it on my own. Zeno x Scarlet. Alright. Alright, this has got to be on the sketch. I didn't sketch out her hand because I wasn't sure how I was going to go about doing it. Okay, let's see. Let's get this hand in right. So we can bring this up like this. Put her thumb in like that. And do this. I might have to make her hand up. Well, I will definitely make her hand up here smaller. I know it's coming out a little bit, but I feel like it's way too big for what I'm looking at here. Let's bring this in. You're a much smaller hand. Although it's probably I'm gonna give her claws and stuff. I mean, she is a dragon. Now that girl has 3. I'm fusing it with Zeno. We'll see how I go with this. His real name is Clive Gregor. His codename Zeno was given to him after someone described his power as otherworldly. Let's do something like this. Now, of course, this is a dragon. I'm going to make the hands a little bit bigger, spiked out. Let's do something like this. I'll end up adding some like texture to the hands and stuff too, but not just yet. Right now, I'm just gonna go about, oh my gosh. Sorry. I got like a huge window right here, and the blinds are closed, but I just saw like all this stuff fall from it, and it's snow. There's tons and tons of snow everywhere where I live, and it's pretty hot today, so it's like melting off the roof of my house. Of my house? By my house, I mean my apartment. I can't afford a house. I'm trying to publish my own comic book over here. Alright, I'm going to put a little fireball in that hand, but not just yet. I'm going to wait till the very end to do this. So Zeno Is the thing on Xeno's head a hat, or is that like a visor that he wears, or what's the deal? For the collab, I'm having Xeno's sister Zeta as Simon on the mural. Oh, that's cool. I think I'd put Mika from my comic book. I think she would fit really well in Super Smash Brothers. Because she's a physical fighter. The other ones wouldn't fit so well. Their powers are too weird. I could probably put one of the Verilix, actually. That would work. That would work too. Because they have a lot of physical... Some of them have non-physical attributes, but it's kind of like half and half, so I could easily grab one that does. But Mika is a hand-to-hand combatant, and she's the kind of person that would want to be in something like Super Smash. I think it'd be cool if Super Smash put a character in it that wasn't from a video game. You know, like something from a movie, or like, I don't know. I think it'd be cool. And with all this fame and fortune going around about The Witcher, they should put, what is it, Geralt? Geralt? I don't remember. Well, they should put him in it. That would have been cool. Although it'd make it another male character, and I'm sick of seeing male characters in Smash. They're always coming out with male characters in Smash. Like, I can't believe that they didn't put Mai in the game. So stupid. And their reasoning was so dumb, too. Like, they could have just given her... Well, I think we've all seen the pictures. We looked at them a little while ago. But yeah, they could have just easily covered her up a little bit. But no. They didn't want to do that. They're just like, no, we're putting in more male characters. No one wants to play the female characters anyway. And that's like the only characters I use. Well, for the most part. Oh, it is. Freaking love Samus. In her sweet robot suit. And I like Palutena a lot because she looks like one of my comic characters. It's like a snowboarding helmet with goggles. I don't see any links, you know. I'm sorry, man. It didn't show up. Alright, snowboarding helmet with goggles, huh? Let's see if I can't do something with that. I could have the piece open for the nose, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think this is going to look cool like this. It started off as a free item I got in Roblox and didn't care about it until Halloween. Check DA notes. Okay. Oh. Well, too late for that now. I'm already sold on this super cool visor concept. That's not right. I'm gonna bring it down a little. Let's bring it a little over like that. Every time you draw fangs, I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, I love drawing fangs. I put fangs on almost everything. Like all my characters in my comic have fangs. It's okay, that's also part of the design. Come on. There we go. It was an ordinary rental until he kept it as a lucky charm after he hit a tree headfirst and it saved his life. And by kept it, you mean five-finger discounted it. Give her that. The ears are going to come out way over here. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what I do when I get there. For now, let's just finish up this face. Down at the bottom. Yeah, I'll go over that after. Just gotta get my line kind of where I want everything. Yeah, I don't like that. Hold on. Let's get rid of this. Make it a little more straight on to go with the arm that's coming towards us, the viewer. Actually, I'm going to change up the hand. I'm not liking it. Let's see here. I'm going to erase this a little. Erase that. Erase that. What I'm going to do instead of something like this is I think I'm going to do something like that. Put the fireball in that person's hand. I think it's going to look a lot nicer when I get to that, because right now it looks kind of weird, but I'm sure when I put the fire in it, we're not going to see as much of the hand, so it's not so bad. I'm putting more work into it than I have to. Oh no, I need that. This is what I didn't want. Okie dokie. Clothing. Let's get in on this. Alright, I started doing those visors. Let's, I want that going in. Yeah, like that. That's good. No, the shop let him have it. Ah, so he didn't steal it after all. Make that like capris, but that are got a zipper on the side, so it seems like she can wear it while she's got her crazy feet. Maybe I'll put the zipper the whole way. I think that's cool. Alright. Alright, let's erase some of the little lines that are behind the clothes. There's really not that much to erase. There we go. A reverse zipper. Isn't that fun? Usually I don't do zigzags for my zipper, but I'm going to make an exception this time. No, her scales are like skin, doesn't need to be thick. Okay. Note. Says Robert. But she can make it thick by will. Oh, that's fun. Actually, it's going to be here, connecting like that, and then coming up over here like this. Let's just leave it in lines like this. I think it looks good like that. No, this isn't what I wanted. Let's erase this. Actually, this is the bottom here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Let's have like a running theme here. little bit smaller. Here we go. I'm not going to give her just a regular square belt. I think that's boring. Let's give her like a novelty belt. Actually, there we go. That's cute. We'll say she's into the dark arts. Put a little symbol of protection on her. Oh, that's not the symbol of protection. That's the Star of David. I'd have to go look up actual symbol of protection if I was going to put it on there. That Celtic symbol, but I don't remember what it looks like by heart. And it's fine. I'll just leave that on. I think that's cute. That works with her. Oof, I'm gonna save. Haven't done that in a while. Oh my gosh. That would have been the worst. So her breasts are still pretty large considering that. I wanted to make her a lot thinner. Let's get her tail in there. So it's going to be coming out of the back of her jacket, which has like a giant hole cut out of it. Let's bring it out like this. No, not like that. Maybe like that. No one knows what is actually the power of Xeno and Zeta have telepathos, nor do they know how exactly how they got it. It was in a science lab experiment. You know those ones that you pay to go do so you can get some money? Well, they got him to eat the new McRib. But not by McDonald's. Harvey's wanted to throw their hat in the McRib ring. And in their taste trials initially, to add extra flavor, they put in a couple secret ingredients that no one else knew about. Thus, Xeno and Zeta have gained their abilities through the eating of these McRibs. Seeing that the powers these two children have attained from such burgers, being so great, terrified the people of Harvey's, and where the owner wanted to keep the sweet powers for himself and gain power himself, it was too late because as Zeta and Xeno had gained these abilities, they destroyed the entire factory accidentally, and they accidentally killed the creator as well. And the creator is one of those types that didn't like to write things down because he feared the government. So the amazing concoction died with him. Yeah, that works. Backstory created, Xeno. I don't think I'm going to give her wings, guys. It's tough. If I do, I'm going to give her, like, cute little ones. And do I give her little spikes, or, you know what? I'm not going to give her little spikes. She has, like, full hands over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her little hands. Xeno's boss, the owner of a scientific company, chooses not to try and replicate it as he's a loyal employee and he's watched Akira and doesn't want to recreate the ending to that. That makes sense. Akira is a classic tale of not treating your employees properly. Oh boy, 7 minutes. I don't think I'm going to finish this in 7 minutes, but let's just say that I'm not doing so bad. Not as bad as last week. Last week I was so behind. Like 40 extra minutes. Oof. There have been cases of people gaining telepathos and then using it for evil, but they all usually go into a meltdown and literally disintegrate. Well, that's what happens when you use your brain more than you should. I believe that same thing happens with your brain on drugs. Let's make this one just a little tighter around the circle here. Whoops. Let's fuse this tail. There we go. Alright, so now we just really got to get her hair in there. I don't even know where to begin with this hair. Oof. You know what? We're going to give her short hair. Because Xeno's got short hair. So let's really get in there. I don't really draw women with short hair either. I'm a fan of pigtails. That's like my favorite haircut of all time. And outside of pigtails, I like long hair a lot. So it's very, very rare I draw women that have short hair. Alright, let's get her hand dragoned out. I think it's about time to do that. No, I don't like that. There we go. Oh no. No, stop it, computer. Thank you. Oh, I hurt my finger. I pushed too hard. I draw a lot, so like all my joints and everything are like falling apart on me these days. But I'm really working hard to get my comic book done in time for Anime North. I'm hoping I get to go. Today's the due date, so if I don't get an email from them today, I don't get to go. I'm kind of sad. I've never been, so I'm really hoping, but I don't know. We'll see. Crossing my fingers I can go. I'd love to hit up that convention. I think it'd be really sweet. Plus, I'm working so incredibly hard to be able to get my next issue to my comic finish, just so if I do go, then I'll have it done in time, which would be just flippin' awesome. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come in here, grab my eraser, and lower the opacity on it. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to erase her visor the way I usually would erase the eyes of a character. Just because I feel like if I erase the whole visor, then it's gonna get rid of the idea that that's what she's wearing. It won't be as noticeable, let's say. There we go. Wow, this one's pretty detailed. What are we at? 3 minutes overtime. Not bad. Let me just put our other little dragon wing there, which I can end down here. That's a really cool way to top the wings, honestly. Thank you. I love the design so far. It kind of reminds me of my most recent but undesigned OC Starbright. Starlight, Starbright, this is my big night. Been watching a lot of Macross lately, and that's a Lin Min Mei song. Now I expect Robert to, or not Robert, sorry, Zeno to tell me a random fact about Macross. Did you know that the creation of Macross was entirely done in an underground cave? Oh, Zeno and his sweet facts. Like his random ones. Let's erase this a little. There we go. All right. Starbright was created by the antagonist after kidnapping Starla and copying her hard drive to try and create a super soldier, but he eventually rebelled and was later rebuilt after a fatal hit. I remember. I saw your. We've already done a couple illustrations of that character. I think she had like a robot wing. I don't know, but I remember you telling this story. There we go. Maybe move it in just a little more. Then what I'm going to do real quick is just fill in her visor with some blue as well. Because I don't like the concept of doing like color and just having it in one spot on a drawing. I mean, I don't mind it. It depends on like the initial design of your drawing, right? Like if you're gonna pull a Frank Miller, then you got to do it well. And usually, I don't think of my whole drawing thinking that I'm gonna design it around just that. And I don't have a lot of contrast in my drawings either. Like I don't put a lot of big blacks and stuff like that. I usually don't do a lot of shading in general because I'm so used to coloring my stuff, like my own things. So I don't. It's rare that I think about that. No, I'm gonna put this one underneath. No, that's too much. There, that looks good. But you know what? Even though this looks good, I might change it up a notch. Hold on, let me just highlight this, grab this. No, the other one was good. Okay, let's try something like that. And I'm going to try the same thing on this side. Let's see like that. Like this, you get a little bit of blue, but it's kind of pinkish, so it kind of works with the rest, like well, with the red that's going on in the drawing. Should I leave it like that? I'm gonna ask you all. Like, should I make it red, or should I just straight up leave it as blue? Blue or red. It's kind of like a pinkish red. Anyway, while you all think of this, while you all sit down and think about this, I am going to just add a couple more details to her hair. Dee-be-doo-bop-beep-dee-dee-dee-dee. Ah, wrong eraser, Eric. Let's erase that and try this again. There we go. He then tries to pursue a career as a DJ and then often works with Zeta on her missions. I like it. Which one did you like? The redder one or the bluer one? Or like the pinky red one or the bluer one? Ooh, I gotta sign my drawing. Both are fine. Alright. If that's the case, I might just leave it as blue. I don't know. No, I'll leave it as blue. Last week's drawing I had done something that was pink with the alcremie. So this week I'll make it blue. Wow, that was super fun. Ooh, actually, there's just a few more things I want to add real quick. Look at me. If I'm going to show off her stomach, I'm at least going to give her a couple of scales here. Come on. Yeah, that's much better. I'm actually just going to fluff out the scales a little. This way it makes them a little more three-dimensional. There we go. That looks a little nicer. Let's make that a little bigger. Alright, y'all. I think I'm all done here. So today we did a fusion of two original characters, Zeno and Scarlet, to create this fun looking mashup monster girl. She's like a little bit of a dragon, gave her some sweet visors, some energy powers, the little trench coat, and regular pants with zippy all the way. Yeah, it'd be cool to color in all my drawings. It's just it would take a whole day to do that. And I don't have the time. I have to work on my comic book. Like right now, I didn't finish my two pages I needed to finish yesterday because they're crazy difficult. And I have to finish all my comic by the end of this month. Because even if I'm not going to go to Anime North, I might be going to the Montreal Comic Book Convention. It's not like a Comic-Con. It's like a comic expo. So it's like made for comic books and original comic books and people selling them. So it's not going to be like Marvel and DC, no pinups or anything like that. Maybe they'll allow some pinups as long as they're like, I don't know. You know what? I'm not sure. I would have to ask them. But for the most part, I'll be trying to sell my comic book. So I have pinups of my comic anyway. So if anything, I'll try and sell them there. Alrighty. Let's do the fancy outro. Thus ends my live streaming session for today, yet the real challenge begins. Listening to my 2-minute long advertisement on me, myself, and I. All links mentioned will be in the description below this video. So, at a young age, I realized that sleep was for suckers and I could get so much done by avoiding it altogether. And now that I'm older, all I want to do is sleep. I was up till like 2:30 last night, and then I wake up at like 8 in the morning, and then I draw all day, and then I go to bed at 2:30 in the morning, and then I wake up at 8 in the morning, and I draw all day, and I basically do this all the time. Now, I'm not complaining about it because I love drawing, and I really am having a fun time working on my comic book. However, it is incredibly exhausting. So, I do this and I work this hard because I'd like to achieve my dream and my goal in life, which is this comic book right here. This is like 120 pages, all fully colored, and it's my first one, and I'm going to make 2 other ones. This took 5 years to make because I do everything on my own. I do all the drawing, the writing, the publication, I do the packaging, and dealing with print shops to find like that good quality for the lowest price and all that. Takes like over a month to do, with like sending your stuff, getting them come back to you. Oh, it's a lot of work. In any case, it's a lot of work that once I had it made, I felt super good. But I paid for this with my own monies out of my own pocket. So it was incredibly expensive. So it's so expensive, in fact, that I can't like afford to print out more of them to lower the cost. So the cost on this thing's kind of expensive at conventions. I usually sell it for $35, but I give people a cute little sketch inside of the character of their choice on the cover. All this just to say that if you help support me for $3 a month on my Patreon page, all of that money goes towards this. Like 100%. On an occasion, I might use it to go to a convention to pay for my table and my space, but at the same time, it all comes up to the same thing because my convention and my table and my space is all dedicated towards me selling this sweet comic book that I spent 5 years working on, and I still have another 9 years to go to finish it completely. I say 9 because I'm almost done my 6th one. It would have been 10 usually, because I want 15 issues in total. In any case, aside from my sweet comic and my Patreon, I also have this, my YouTube page, where I do all my live streaming. My live streaming that I do is always, as you've seen today, or if you're just tuning in at the end to look at the sweet drawing that I end up doing, it's always devoted towards doing fan art pinups. So all my fan art pinups are mashups that I like to do with tons of other things. Like the first week of every month is always original character, and then the rest of the month is just people naming what they want, and I try and mash everything up together to create something new, original, and cool. So these sketches, they all go towards my Patreon followers. So if you follow me on Patreon, then I end up hooking you up with the higher resolution quality versions of all my sketches. And for OC week, I'm really thinking I'm making everything free right now for the viewing and all that, but I might start making it where you have to be following me in order to make a suggestion for OC week. And I'm just saying this because I gotta think of some way to make like traffic come to my Patreon page. As it is right now, I'm like, free everything. I want everything to be free, but when I make everything free, I can't pay for my comic book, and you know, that's kind of like the vicious cycle that I'm living in right now. So in any case, aside from that, it's awesome hanging out with you as always. Oh, one other thing to mention. Do you know who else is super important to the rise of my comic book and future empire? Well, it's you. Do you like drawing or sketching, or are you like somebody who likes to build things and cool stuff like little statues or stuff out of Lego or whatever it is? If you do like doing any of that kind of stuff, and you have you've got like this urge to make something based off of my comic book, again, Blythe, right here. You can always find references on my Facebook pages and stuff like that of characters. In any case, if you do anything like that, then I will link whatever it is that you posted on whatever social media you're on all my social medias. So on my Instagram, on my Facebook, I will link it on DeviantArt. I'll link it everywhere, you know, like I'll just share the wealth big time. And I'm thinking the next time I come out with a book like this in 5 years from now, I might put a bunch of those drawings inside it. So that way I'll be like, here's all my fan related stuff by a bunch of super awesome people. And because I like doing stuff like that. Here's like a couple promotional stuff I had done a few years ago. So anyway, like I would definitely put all of that in the back, and I think that would be really cool, and I could always name everybody who had contributed to it, that'd be awesome. In any case, I have to go now. I have a lot of my comic book to keep working on. I hope you all take care, and I'll see you all in the future. And I'll be seeing ya.